Hey guys, and welcome to my first video for this year's Inktober, or Inktober in general. In case you don't know what Inktober exactly is, it's a 31 days drawing challenge. So you have to create one drawing for each day of October every single day that is also done with ink. Mostly in black and white, but colors aren't completely forbidden. For some pieces I also use a touch of color to make them look a bit more interesting. Some people also use more than ink for their drawings, so they use additional tools for it, but I try to stick to only ink-related tools, which also includes brush pens and multiliners. So no Copics, colored pencils or watercolor for me. Yeah, that's it for the rules, and as you already read in the title, this is a compilation of all the Inktober drawings that I drew during the first week of October. So starting with day 1 until just the recent finished one on day 7. I don't have the time to make a video for every single one of my drawings, so this is the best way I can handle this much amount of drawings. You won't see complete drawing process in here too, because this way the video would become way too long if there are 7 complete drawings. So you'll only get to see some parts of the processes, and sometimes I also put in some real-time strokes in between, so that you can see how it really looks like if I'm inking. And yes, I'm not the fastest person, but yeah, now then you can get an impression on how it really looks like. But yeah, I already made my mind about what I wanna draw during this whole month in previous, so that I don't have to spend that much time thinking about that before starting to prepare the actual sketch. Because I always want to draw more fan art, but never have the time for that, I decided that I want to mix that with the really classic theme of Halloween, and so I came up with the decision that I want to try to draw characters of which I think that they suit to Halloween. Whether they look like that or have a creepy character or anything else, they have to suit to this theme more or less. You already saw some of these drawings now, and yes, the first one was the just recent released Halloween version of Otaya from the Utapri Shining Life mobile game, which I absolutely adore, and because I just got him in the gacha one day before Inktober started, I just had to draw him. Back then the inking was still a bit experimental, I would say, in there, because I had to figure out at first on how it behaves on this paper, and I should say that it leaked out a lot. Luckily I could cover most of the parts, but yeah, after all I didn't expect it that much from the first day at all, so yeah. On the second day I drew Road and Lilo from d.gray-man. Again, still a bit unsure about I should handle the ink. Oh yeah, and before I forget about it, I should mention that because until now I always try to draw male and female characters alternately, so that I don't get used to just one body type and have a bit more of variety in my drawings. So, to go on. Right now in the video you see that I choose Toma from Amnesia for day 3. If you don't know the anime or visual novel, you might think, what makes him a Halloween character? Well, let me just say that his personality is a bit yandere-like, if you know what I mean. So yeah, this was also the first drawing that I inked with new black ink that I just recently bought, and it was so much better than the older one that I used for the first 2 pieces. Cause that ink was at least 2 years old, and I don't know if this is such a good thing. And yes, I also used a bit more of colored ink in there too, and I mixed it a little bit with water so that I got lighter tones that I also can use as shadings. And right now you see my drawing for day 4, which is Krull from Ovarino Seraph. The first drawing that I did with my brush pen. I just thought that it would look cool, and I just wanted to try something else. Brush pen, yes, it's still a bit hard to handle for me, but I try to get used to it, and yes, I had to jump over my shadow, and after all, you can't get better with it if you don't use it, so yes. After all, I still like the result, and I really like her little demon bat or whatever this is. I just saw it on pictures of her and I just had to include it to this drawing. Yeah, but now for day 5 I decided to draw Break and his puppet Emily and his chain Mad Hatter from my all-time favorite manga series Pandora Hearts. He's just one of my favorite characters in general, and because I want to draw as many characters from different series, I had to pick one out of all my dear Pandora Hearts characters, and yes, he was the one that definitely suits Halloween the most. And at first I didn't want to include his chain in here, but the background was so empty, and then yes, I just thought that I could add it at least a little bit. And with this creepy eye in the background, at least it looks a little bit more like Halloween. At least I think so, because I think his chain is a little bit, really creepy. Because his eye is a little bit disturbing, and yes, but it's not even his full chain, so you only see this little part of it. But still, for me it's really creepy. But it's also cool. Yes, speaking is difficult. But now, then for day 5, it was time that my entry for the meme train finally came alive. And yes, you heard right, and probably already saw it in the thumbnail if I put it in there, but I think I will put it in there because I didn't create the thumbnail right now, but I think I will put it in there. But yes, I had to jump on it because right now I think every artist had to draw one of these characters. So right now you see it, and I'm speaking of Boozette. Yes. The meme Nintendo character that everyone is talking about and that you see everywhere on Twitter or on every platform that you could think of. And yes, I had to draw her too. But I have to say that I just kinda like Boozette more than Bowsette. Just my personal opinion though. Also this time I worked with less colors and with more stroke shading. And last but not least, my dear creepy Sakuya from Servamp that I just finished moments before I record this voiceover. I went a bit overboard with the green ink, but yeah, not every piece can become a masterpiece, especially if you draw something every single day. Though I have to say that I could handle the brush pen a little bit better than in the drawing of Cruel, which I did some days before this one. And yes, you don't see it that well, but if you look closer to the actual piece, you will definitely see that the lines are a bit better than on the Cruel picture. But yeah, it's also just my personal opinion, and I think I see it different than you because I'm the artist, and I think the artist always sees his or her own piece a little bit different than other people, but yeah. Yeah, so that was my first week of Inktober. If you don't want to wait and see the drawings right after I finished them, go and check out my social media. You can find a link to all of that in the description box down below. Let's see if I really can manage to finish Inktober until the very end. But yeah, for now, thank you so much for watching, and then see you soon!